What's up, guys? George Balekji here with Boston has entered the chat. But hey, check out the latest episode of Foxborough Rush, wherever you get your podcast. Everything Patriots, everything Drake May. Andrew Whitworth stopped by, caught up with our guy, Sean McGuire. Check out that full interview on Nesson's YouTube page, wherever you get your podcast. And also make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment on the Nesson YouTube page as well. That's Foxborough Rush, wherever you get your podcast. Now, let's get to the chat. All right. Let's get into the weekend, baby.
Yes.
Bing Bong coming to town.
TGIF.
Celtics, Knicks, set in stone. Jalen Brunson, ice cold, just to set up the funeral for the Knicks. We're not going to give away our previews yet. We'll be talking.
You just did. We're burying you, Knicks.
Yeah. Maybe it goes 6.
Maybe.
If it goes 5, they'll be happy.
Facts.
We'll be talking that Celtics Knicks. We'll also be taking a look at some odds. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL. Odds are up. Travion Henderson, rookie running back for the Pats, second-round pick. He's up there, too. Could be a nice bet. We'll be talking all that. T, let's get started with it.
Okay.
Celtics, Knicks. Knicks close out the Pistons in 6 on the road in Detroit. Awesome game. Just like Magic Celtics, bloodbath between the Pistons and the Knicks. That series much closer. And Jalen Brunson was a hero at the end. At one point, Knicks were up 103-96. They blew it. Pistons take the lead late. Then Brunson with 2 ridiculous baskets late. And they executed, mainly Jalen Brunson. Now it sets up a matchup you know the NBA loves to see. I'm excited. Boston, New York, anytime. But now Knicks, Celtics. We'll get the Jays in the Garden. We'll get Jalen Brunson in TD Garden. I'm excited for this one. It's still mightily Celtics favorite here.
Bro, I think you made so many points in that soliloquy of yours because I almost look at what you just said as a tree. Like the tree, the actual trunk is the New York-Boston rivalry.
Yeah.
And then the branches off of that over the years, we know. It's Red Sox, Yankees. It's here we go with Knicks, Celtics, right? I mean, there's history there. And so now it brings you to present day. So it's like a new branch on that tree. We already know what the Knicks are. They're Jalen Brunson. Now, I do think the surrounding cast around him, the backup singers around him, are much better for this iteration of the Knicks than they've ever been with Jalen Brunson. Before, his backup dancers were from his college. They were all from Villanova. Now he has real solidified backup singers. But in the end, we all know Jalen Brunson is the star. He's Beyonce. Kat and the rest of them, that's Destiny's Child. They fill it out. So with that being said, the Celtics, I actually don't know. I think Brunson has reached that rarefied air now where you maybe just can't stop him. Okay? He's going to get his. He's that great.
Yeah.
And even though the Celtics are champs, even though we've seen the Celtics play at times dominant defense, quite frankly, we always talk about the three-point shooting and the running gun. They play dominant defense at times. They can shut your water off. I think Jalen Brunson has reached to the level where you're not going to shut his water off. I don't care who you are. The Pistons are a pretty good defensive team. What did they do against them besides nothing? I think what you have to do is shut down those ancillary pieces I was talking about. You have to shut down. You have to make sure Bridges doesn't go off. You have to make sure Cat doesn't go off, which is a tall order, literally.
Yeah.
You have to make sure OG doesn't go off.
Yeah.
I believe if you could do that, which is my prediction here, I'm going to go season 5 because they take care of all the pieces around Brunson. Honestly, Brunson's going to get his. He is that great of a player. I'm at peace with that.
He elevates his game against the Celtics every time.
He'll have a great series, and they'll lose in 5.
But speaking to your ancillary pieces, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns significantly average less points per game in matchups with the Celtics specific compared to their season averages.
But
the
Celtics
Celtics hone in
right?
on them. Yeah, the Celtics hone in on them and simply shut them down. Brunson's going to get his buckets. He's a really talented scorer. He finds his way to fight to get to the free throw line as well. And he's just one of the most talented scorers in the league.
Yeah.
And he's such a hard worker. But OG Anunoby, first off, not that good of a scorer.
Right.
And he's second most attempts from 3 on this team. And his highest volume of scoring and shot attempts comes from 3 as well. And he's a 35% from deep. Mikal Bridges, again, their second, I don't want to say second best. Well, he is their third best shooter technically. But also he's the one that tries to stretch the floor, the third most on this team as well. And again, well below what you would want from a guy that's attempting over 5 threes in the postseason to where he's shooting from deep as well. And that's where it gets me of This Knicks team was built to stop the Celtics. It's why they traded 5 first-rounders for Mikal Bridges. It's why they gave that massive extension to OG Anunoby. It's why they turned Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo into Karl Anthony Towns. Where Cat brought the shooting, he brought the scoring they needed. It was a wash defensively. But the Knicks are so inconsistent. Mm-hmm. It is. It's Jalen Brunson will get you 30 to 40 points a night.
That's right.
But their bench, in that comeback win, that was down to the wire, 6 points. The Knicks are so inconsistent. And how it goes is everything is off the pick and roll or pick and pop with Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
He has to get inside to set up his entire game. But every time they match up with the Celtics, I say it's Jalen Brunson at 6 foot, gets lost amongst the trees. Drives in, gets inside. The athleticism, the size, and the defensive ability of the Celtics just simply overwhelms him. They could switch on everything. We can get into the matchups. And they limit Jalen Brunson. He'll still get his, but then they could switch off on everything else. And he just doesn't have the rest of the surrounding cast to open it up for him.
Which is interesting because you went back to all those acquisitions the Knicks made in thoughts that we are equipped now, better equipped to go up against the Celtics. And maybe they are. We'll find out. In theory, they should be. They brought in Cat and OG and Bridges, as you laid out. But what's interesting, one thing you left out, Brunson took a tremendous, significant pay cut. Like a big pay cut. With his contract, he left multi-millions of dollars on the table so the Knicks would have this flexibility to bring these guys in. He would never say it because he's such a dog and he's such a competitor.
Yeah.
And he has Mamba mentality, no question. Brunson I'm talking about. But I have to imagine somewhere in the back of his mind, or maybe the front of his mind, he's got to be like, you know what, man? I left all that damn money on the table for these guys. And they're not even consistent.
Yeah.
The one is Karl Anthony Towns. And he's made a whole career of this. Karl Anthony Towns has been an excellent player in this league for a really long time. He's been an all-star. He is a star. Let's call it what it is. But he's not a superstar, is he? Why? Because when chips are on the table, when the lights are the brightest, Karl Anthony Towns has not risen to that level that you need to be a superstar in this league, that you need to be an all-time great, which he has the tools to be. I do not believe Karl Anthony Towns has provided the consistency for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I hear you with Bridges. I hear you with OG. But both of those guys are sort of limited in what they can do in terms of ceiling.
Towns has the talent.
Towns is the guy.
Yeah.
It really should be Brunson and Towns.
Yes.
And if that came to fruition, maybe they would have a shot against the Celtics. But it hasn't because that's not who Cat is.
Yeah.
On a night-in, night-out basis, some nights he could be great. Some nights he could just be average. It's not going to get it done against the champs. You know why? Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, consistently great.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And this is a Celtics team that legitimately goes 9 deep all the way to Sam Hauser.
That's right.
Their top 7 guys off the bench are all averaging 25 more minutes per game. For the Knicks, it's their starting 5.
Yes.
It's Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, all playing nearly 40 minutes a game. But when the Celtics, they can switch on everything defensively, can stress you defensively by their shooting, their size, their athleticism, and their ball movement, and the ability to play full court or in the half-court game. And they don't have to rely on one guy, but they can rely on Jayson Tatum. The Magic were bigger, better defensively than what the Knicks are, and bitter. They were bigger, better defensively.
Thanks.
They couldn't score, but they match up better with the Celtics. They gave them fits.
Yeah.
This Knicks team does not. OG's a good defender.
Yeah.
Bridges is a good defender. But simply what the Celtics are going to do is hunt Karl Anthony Towns in the pick and roll.
That's right.
Hunt Jalen Brunson in the ISO. And that's what it's going to be. This Knicks team is good. They're good defensively. When they match up with the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, credit to him, the adjustments they made. Magic weren't letting him shoot. They went inside, playing a game with JT and Kristaps Porzingis. Mazzulla's going to make the adjustments. It's matchups in the NBA playoffs. And that's where I go to. Like, just think of the Celtics defensively and how they would match up. Brunson, it could be Derek White.
Holiday.
Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, no problem. All right. Josh Hart, all 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
Bridges, OG, all 4 of those guys.
Right.
Kristaps Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns. It'll be Kristaps Porzingis,
Horford,
Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford exactly off the bench, Drew Holiday. Shoot, Derek. that it's just when you can switch on everything and you can handle those guys. And it's that snapshot, but I can't get it out of my head. And you mentioned what Karl-Anthony Towns has been in the moment time and time again. I just think of crucial, like clutch minutes down the stretch, Knicks, Pistons, and Tobias Harris stopping Karl-Anthony Towns in the post.
Yeah.
What is Al Horford, Tatum, Brown going to do? That's where you get a Karl-Anthony Towns because they needed that shooting. Julius Randle wasn't providing it. They needed that scoring output. And he's been almost 50% from three in the postseason. He's been good, but he hasn't been great. And that's why you swing big for a cat. You take on that payroll, everything. He hasn't been that guy. And with the Magic, it was Paolo Banchero and a bunch of dudes. With the Knicks, it's Jalen Brunson and good players. But end of the day, against these Celtics teams, they become a bunch of dudes. You have to be deep. The fact that Tibbs really, like legitimately, minutes-wise, only plays 5 guys. The next 2 off the bench is like maybe 16, 17 minutes a game. It'll be Mitchell Robinson. We'll see where else they go off their bench. You have to be deep because this Celtics team will give everyone starter minutes. The bench, 6 points in that final game against the Pistons. I think they broke 10 or more points just twice in that first-round series.
Yeah.
Peyton Pritchard himself can outscore the entire Knicks bench. Like you need depth. You need defense. You need scoring. And I just watch everything is around Jalen Brunson. And when you keep it that simple, it spells disaster matching up with the Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, one observation I have of this Knicks team, too, I'm interested in your thoughts because it's sort of a take. But they don't have this Knicks team doesn't have that signature toughness that we have come to really be used to with playoff Knicks teams. Yeah. Usually playoff Knicks teams. I'm not talking about when they were a mess rebuilding. But the Knicks teams that make it to the postseason always have a signature toughness to them, a signature grit to them. You don't want to play them. Even if you know you're better. You know you're like, all right, this is going to be a long, grueling series. This team's going to drag you to hell, and then we'll advance. Thank God we got by the Knicks, and you'll patch up your wounds after. That's not this team. I mean, Brunson has that. Brunson has that mentality. Brunson has that grit. But as a collective, they really don't have it. We know the coach preaches that, but they don't. This team specifically doesn't have that. And I think it's a bigger picture in this case, too, as I go back to the Boston-New York rivalry thing. The Celtics feel very much a step ahead of the Knicks right now, like cerebral. We're just smarter than you. We're deeper than you. Our style of basketball works. Yours doesn't. And we're going to outclass you. Yeah. Literally. Like we're just going to, you're not on our level. Poo-poo, goodbye. Where in general, the Knicks could rely on sort of that griminess. This team doesn't have it. So I actually think Boston is going to punk them. That's why I'm going season 5. I think there's going to be moments in this series where not only are the Celtics better, but the Celtics are going to bully this Knicks team, and it's going to be tough for Knicks fans. I'm just warning you now. Like if you're a Knicks fan, good luck because this series is going to hurt you. Just like the Celtics, I have ruined the Miami Heat. Heat culture's dead. Jimmy Butler ain't walking through that door. Yeah. That's because of the Celtics. Yeah, the Celtics ended and ruined. Trust the process. You can't even say that to a Sixers fan now. They want to puke. You know why? The Celtics ended it. That's why. This is another example. Look at what's happening in Milwaukee. They tried with Dame, right? Yeah. Didn't work. Sorry, Giannis. Does he force his way out of town? Maybe. Yeah. Celtics ruined that. Line up, Knicks. You're next. I think this is going to be a very difficult series for Knicks fans to watch because you already in the front of your mind know the Celtics are better. And they're the champs. Duh, right? But what you're not used to is getting punked, and that's what's about to happen. I think the Celtics are going to push them around.
The Celtics amplify, and expose your flaws. Yes. And that's what they're going to do with the Knicks. Like that Pistons team, loved watching Cade Cunningham in that series. That Pistons team was really tough, defended well. But it was a 2-man game with him and Jalen Duren.
And they're young. They don't know.
And it was half court. It was compact basketball. It wasn't anything crazy. And the Pistons, in a way, were just simply more flawed than the Knicks. Right. The Knicks aren't perfect by any means, and the Celtics are just going to expose them time and time again. I'm excited. We're going to get the Jays and MSG, Jalen Brunson and TD Garden. I think Jalen Brunson himself steals one game. I can't see it being a sweep, and it's just because of the fortitude and the wherewithal and the resiliency and just the moxie that you get with Jalen Brunson. But if everything I got to give you the reason for why you're not going to get swept is something you can't see, you know what I mean? It's not their game. It's not their scoring. It's not their shooting. It's everything I can't see. Yeah. I'm not confident saying it goes 5. If they were swept, if the Knicks were swept, would not be shocked. I think it just goes 5.
I would be shocked.
One game.
I'm giving Brunson. Listen,
one game dropped in the Garden for the Celtics.
You and I previewed Celtics Magic, and I told you then. I said Paolo's special enough; they're going to get one. Now it was Paolo and Wagner, but with the Knicks, I'm right back to that well. Brunson is special enough. Yeah. He's going to He's going to get one. And listen, we talked about the inconsistency of Cat, but Cat is a dog too. He's just not consistent.
Yeah.
Cat and Brunson in combination, if you get a good night out of Cat at the same time, they could get one. I tell you what, I don't think they're going to win it, George. Game 1 is a spot for the Knicks. You better come into Boston ready to go. And if you can win Game 1, if you could steal Game 1, maybe that confidence is there. I don't believe it's going to happen. I think maybe they'll get one at MSG, or maybe they'll get one in Boston later and survive, and it'll go gentleman sweep. But Game 1, especially if I'm Brunson, I mean, I'm coming out like, all right, I'm throwing the kitchen sink in Game 1 here, because if we could steal one on the road, steal one in Boston, which is really your job, right? Win one in their building, then the series starts. I think the Knicks could get the confidence and start to believe. I don't even know if the Knicks think they can pull this off right now. I really don't.
I mean, they have to have that belief, but the confidence. There's a belief, and then there's actual genuine confidence.
That's right.
You got to have arrogance if you want to deal with the Celtics in this.
If you could steal Game 1, maybe it's a little more authentic.
I just think of that Pistons crowd last night, chanting "flopper" at Jalen Brunson, what the TD Garden crowd's going to be doing.
He does
no,
not
he doesn't, and I love that about Jalen Brunson. He's a fantastic player.
Yes.
What this Knicks team should be looking at, you turn an OG and a Cat into a Paolo Banchero, but you got to make things work because Paolo's not getting paid those top dollars yet. Yeah. They picked up the club options for the Magic, but you pair a Paolo with a Jalen, a guy that can create his own shot, really good defender, really smart with the basketball. You see what Paolo does for the Magic. That's what the Knicks should be looking at. That's the push they should have made. You go and get a Cat, but I don't even want to talk offseason. I want to talk with this because to me, and we talk about it, to me it looks like for the Knicks, it comes down to what do you get out of Karl Anthony Towns?
Sure.
He needs to be consistent. He needs to be clutch. He needs to be smart. Some of the mistakes they were making late in the game with their execution, that turnover by Karl Anthony Towns late when he was blitzed between Cade Cunningham, doubled on the three-point line, the mental mistakes he was making, you need Cat to be consistent, and he just needs to be a dog, especially offensively. He can't get pushed around and bullied around. And then on the Celtics side, to me, it's Drew Holiday and the hamstring. He ties the whole defense together. And what he's able to do where he can defend anyone on this Knicks team, especially Karl Anthony Towns, that's what changes everything for them. So I think with the Knicks, they got to look at Cat if they want to make this a series. And for the Celtics, I think it's just it's either if they're very dominant or if they're just simply dominant.
Yeah.
It comes down to how healthy Drew is and how much of an effect he has defensively.
Well, listen, I mean, you would have to go back to the Magic series. The fact that they got that series done quickly.
Yeah. And 5 days rest you're going to have before game 1.
And have had the opportunity to rest should tell you everything you need to know. It's not just Drew Holiday. I mean, Jaylen Brown's out there getting knee injections. Now, he looks good, but taking some time off has to help. We know Tatum with the wrist. So I just think, taking 5 days to sort of heal, they should be able to come into the series and be healthy and be ready to go. I'm expecting a 100% across the board, or at least as close as you can get to that this time of year. That's right.
I just think it boils down to when these teams match up, who they have with the depth. You can't be a team that goes 5 deep, really relies on one player if you want to make it a series with the Celtics.
Yeah.
You have to be talented. You have to be deep. You have to be able to defend 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And you have to score and shoot.
Yeah.
The Knicks don't check those boxes. They don't. They're not deep. They can't defend with all 5 guys on the floor. Because if they have their 5 best guys on the floor, Brunson and Cat will get hunted by this Celtics offense. They're shooters, Brunson and Cat, and then it falls off a cliff. The Knicks just do not match up well with the Celtics at all. Celtics in 5.
You gave a stat the other day about the Knicks in the regular season against elite teams, not just the Celtics.
0-10. I mean, 0-4 against Boston in the regular season. 0-4.
And then even against the other elite teams in the league, including out west, they were terrible. And it speaks to what you said. You can't just be 5 deep and rely on Brunson and think you're going to be – it's not just winning or being competitive in a playoff series against the champs, George. It's – you're not going to win a championship. You're not going to beat any elite teams with that formula. So, listen, I think all these teams in the East, to be honest with you, are close but no cigar. I think the Knicks are close. I honestly, I like what I've seen from the Magic. I like what I've seen from the Pistons. They're young teams learning still. The Pacers are close, as we know. We saw them last season. The Bucks aren't. But I think the Cavaliers, for my money, are the only team right now who are there potentially to cause some issues for the Celtics. That's it. And I got news for you. If the Celtics mow through them in 5 or 6 games, there's no one left. I'm not buying anyone out west either, including the Thunder, personally.
And again, that's where when it goes to the depth of a team, that there will be 7 guys playing per game for the Knicks, but they're legitimately just a 5-deep team. The Cavs can go 7 deep. Yeah. And it's those additions they make at a deadline of a DeAndre Hunter. It's how Evan Mobley's been healthy. Same thing with Jared Allen, whatever they can get out of him at this point too. But that's what matters with this Cavaliers team and everything they do as well. And if anything, they can push to go 8. You caught up with Celtics fans talking Knicks.
I did.
You and Ante Campbell smart. You knew where this was going.
Well, I mean, listen, it was before Game 5 against the Magic, which is why you need to watch Hold My Banner anyway, because we really catch you up, everything up to date for the quest for Banner 19. But before we played the Magic and closed them out, we started looking ahead, and we say, you know what, this feels like going to close out the Magic. Knicks are going to be next. So we asked the fans, I mean, hey, what do you make of the Celtics-Knicks rivalry, the series? What do you make of Boston and New York, all the beef over the years? We asked them all that. And for the record, George, you're taking Celtics in 5. I'm taking Celtics in 5. Many of the fans felt the same way.
Let's go Celtics!
Let's go Celtics!
Let's go Celtics!
Woo!
I'm looking at the Knicks. They're up next round.
You
think we got them?
I think we got
What you looking? What's that series looking
Celtics
like?
in 5 again.
Ooh. How do you see it playing out? Celtics in how many games against the Knicks?
6.
Oh, okay, so a decent series.
5.
I'm thinking 5. I like the Knicks. They're a tough team, but they can't compete with this team at all.
How many games are we beating the Knicks in?
4.
4? You didn't sound confident.
I mean, we killed them all regular season. Our plus minus is like 123. They got killed every game except for the last one.
Celtics, Knicks, round 2.
Now we're beating them.
Give me the blueprint. How's it look? They got a good team, bro.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Brunson's not.
They have Brunson. They have good players, but I just think we're better. I think we got that.
5, 6.
Yeah, Celtics are 5.
Celtics in 5. That's what I think too.
Absolutely, Celtics is 5. 100%. No doubt. Game plan, I mean, I think we beat the Knicks in every position. I think we beat them in everything. Celtics got a really good team going. So I think we beat them in 5 easily. But you know how it is. You got to go back and forth a little bit. They don't have a bad team. If you're making it to round 2, you got something. But we're better than them in every way. So round 5. I mean, game 5.
We're looking at Knicks Celtics, round 2. We got the Boston-New York thing. How do we see this Knicks Celtics series playing out?
Sweep 4-0. 4-0.
5 games.
5? Season 5? My man. What we got here?
We sweeping a 4-0.
Okay.
Nice little gentleman sweep. Gentlemen.
They talking that
Gentlemen,
talk.
yeah.
They talking that talk. At most 5 games, they say.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the Knicks. They're up next. Are we talking about another gentleman sweep? Are we talking about a straight sweep? What are we looking at? Because you know that Boston-New York thing is always deep.
You got a better chance of seeing me put on Timberlands and walking all the way to Florida before you see the New York Knicks beating us at all and anything.
Yeah, dead ass, B. I like that right there. I like that talk right there. Why do you think New York hates on Boston so much, bro? Because Boston's better, right?
Because everything they've tried to do, we do better. Little fun fact for you. Way back in the day, there used to be the New York Celtics, and they couldn't support them so good, we had to do it better. As the Boston Celtics, 18 banners, looking for the 19. League better get used to it, because we ain't going away.
Yeah, New York, son. Yeah, son.
Why the Celtics are so much better than the Knicks. Send them a message. Let them know. Here you go.
Peyton Pritchard.
In every way possible, we're better than the Knicks. Jalen Brunson sucks. You traded all that for Mikal Bridges. He's trash. We're going to kill him. We're going to kill him.
Why is Boston better than New York, you think?
How much championships does New York have? How much Boston have? That's all you need to say. All you need to say.
In this series, you just got to tell Knicks fans, because you know they like to be hyping and talk smack and all that other stuff. Tell them why the Celtics are better than the Knicks. Go ahead, tell them.
The players.
Yes.
The players are just better. The players are just better. That's it. We got better talent.
Okay.
That's it.
Who's your least favorite all-time Knick, and who's your least favorite Knick on the team right now?
Patrick Ewing.
Okay.
And I got to say Cat. I think Cat is always whining and complaining. He's as bad as LeBron every single time up the floor.
Oh my God, you just gave him so much praise. But okay, you got to take me back in time. I was a young buck, so you got to tell me why you hate Patrick Ewing so much.
Patrick Ewing was much the same way. He was the original. Right? Every single time. And the thing about it was, right, what we loved about the old school Celtics is they would just get up and go, get up and go. Knock you to the floor, get up and go. Patrick Ewing would stand up, he'd look around to the heavens, and then he would say, oh, it's already back on offense, pass me the ball, right? You know, so.
Who's your least favorite Knick of all time then?
Brunson.
I don't have one.
What? Oh, come on, bro. You gotta hate them.
Come on, man.
You can't like them. You gotta hate them.
Cat.
Okay, there we go.
Ewing.
Oh, that's a throwback.
Ewing?
Brunson.
Okay.
Okay, so who's your least favorite Knick of all time then?
Amari Stoudemire.
Amari.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. Okay, so look. How many points is Jalen going to average in this series? Give me some energy.
14.
You agree?
22.
Okay. So Jalen's going to be solid in his mind. Okay. So look.
He'll be mid.
Why does Boston and New York hate each other so much?
I don't know. It goes way back to Willis Reed and the days. But you know what? New York's been wanting this for a long time. And I hate to say it, you got to keep on waiting out there in New York because it ain't happening this year.
Yeah. Can you tell us why Boston is a better city than New York? Because we all know it.
Oh, do I even have to explain that? And my friends are going to kill me because half of my friends live in New York and half live in Boston, but the New York crew knows this is the place to be.
18 championships, New York. 18 championships.
Hey, working on
19.
That's it. Working on. Why is Boston better? Talk that talk than New York.
Dude,
Tell them.
Boston is like New York, but like you get all the good parts of New York, you condense it into one good thing. That's Boston. It's that simple. He agrees with me. He agrees with me too. He might be from New York though. Maybe that's why he's hitting. I don't know. But Boston got it all. I mean, every sport we win. Like, look around you. It's beautiful here. The weather's great. So, man, I don't know. There's just so many places to go.
Bro, we're just better in everything we do. Every sport, just everything. Just the people, everything.
Why is Boston better than New York? Why is Boston better than New York?
Best fans in the industry.
Best sports teams. When do we not beat them?
You got one opportunity to let the camera know and let Knicks fans know why Boston is better than New York. Go ahead and tell them.
It's just simple. It's a better town. It's better food. And my friends, better pizza.
Tell everybody why Boston is a better city. You heard me. Than New York.
Better tourists, better food, better area.
And the chowder.
We got better food, better hockey teams, we got better baseball teams, just got better everything here.
Woo! It's clean and we win.
He's so laid back.
He's humble.
He's humble. Very humble.
He's humble.
He's so humble.
We got the best fans in the NBA. Best sport team.
All right, so look, y'all got an opportunity to let Knicks Nation know. One message. You got to give me some energy, though, this time. You can't be humble. I see you right there. Let Knicks Nation know why the Celtics are better. Go ahead.
Because we coming for them next.
Okay.
We number one.
Okay.
Don't even watch the game. It's not going to be pretty.
Hey, back to back this season.
Okay.
Banner 19 coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Banner 19 loaded.
You're next.
All right.
For more on the Celtics quest for Banner 19, make sure to check out Nesson's basketball podcast, Hold My Banner. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcast are found. George, we have not seen Boston, New York pass the first round of the NBA playoffs since the 80s, my friend.
No, really?
Can't wait. Since the 80s. Past the first round. Think about that.
Baffled by that.
Isn't that crazy?
And the first time we get it since the 80s, the Celtics are going to either sweep them or beat them in 5. They're either going to break their hearts in the Garden or Celtics will just crush their souls in the Garden in Boston.
Facts.
I'm excited for it. All right, man, let's talk some NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year odds. We'll start offense here.
All right.
So this is fun to look at, especially after the draft, because you do see the guys, like there's immediate impact players. Obviously, everyone knows Ashton Ginty, Cam Ward. What's interesting, Travis Hunter, he has odds to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's plus 750. Defensive Player of the Year, 10-1. And I think he's more of a full-time corner than a full-time wide receiver.
Well, depending on who you talk to.
Exactly.
Some people think wide receiver more, yeah.
We'll get into that. But with Offensive Rookie of the Year odds, we're looking at the FanDuel Sportsbook here.
Yep.
Ashton Ginty plus 270. Cam Ward plus 380, quarterback for the Titans. Travis Hunter plus 750 with the Jags.
Okay.
Ted McMillan plus 950. Then there's Omarion Hampton 14-1. So that line's kind of drawn after Ted McMillan. You can make the argument between Ward and Hunter how big that drop off is.
Sure.
But there's that top 4 is anywhere else. You have the odds in front of you, too. Maybe it's not one of the 4 guys I named. Anyone that comes to mind for you?
Well, listen, I want to say 2 things.
You want to talk about your boy Ginty?
No, I wouldn't bet Ginty.
Whoa.
You know why?
What?
I wouldn't bet Ginty because I like where he landed, as you know. I think the Raiders made the right choice there.
Yeah.
That's no question.
Okay.
But they don't have enough offensively for me to feel as though Ashton Ginty can make the impact that he could had he gone to a Chicago, which remember that was rumored at the time.
Okay,
the
I'm
Bears really
interested by
liked him.
this.
I think Ginty will be the focal point of the Raiders offense. Not a bad thing, but because of that, defenses can key in. I don't believe in Geno or anyone else chucking the ball there. So I think Ginty will have a very good rookie season, but not the eye-popping numbers as if he had went somewhere and had other pieces to complement his game. So because of that, it is a quarterback league. I don't think it's a worse bet, Cam Ward at plus 380.
Almost 4-1, yeah.
The Titans are a horrendous team and a horrendous franchise, which it almost feels like they're rock bottom. And so when you're at rock bottom or close to it, there's really realistically nowhere to go but to remain stagnant or to go up. If Cam Ward gets there and he wins a couple more games and he looks good, listen, he's a dual threat guy. He can run and throw. He gives you a couple splashy plays a game, which you imagine he will. I think it's Cam Ward's award to win, pun intended. But I'm looking at Travis Hunter. I'm going to be honest with you. Plus 750 and 10-1 as Defensive Rookie of the Year. This guy has the ability to make history in the NFL, just like we saw in college football. In college football, we have seen guys play both sides of the ball. Generally, it's packages. I remember I grew up in the Charles Woodson era. Charles Woodson was a shutdown, lockdown corner, much like Travis Hunter. And then they would put him in for packages of wide receiver, and he would be awesome. Or they put him at kick or punt returner, and he'd be awesome. And we've seen that throughout history. We have never, maybe nor ever, have seen what Travis Hunter did full-time, both sides, and dominate. Not saying he's going to do it in the NFL, but I'm saying he's attempting to do it. And he has the tools to possibly do it. In other words, if anyone can do it on God's green earth, it's Travis Hunter. For that, I'm willing to sprinkle a little something on both offensive and defensive rookie of the year because he goes to a team where it's conceivable this could happen. Have you heard the Jacksonville Jaguars talk about Travis Hunter, both when he's in the room and not in the room? Have you heard that? Have you heard it, George?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just, in case you haven't heard it, we'll paraphrase. They basically treat him like God.
And they're not going to put him in a box either.
No, they're not. They're going to let him do what he wants. And they worship at the altar of Travis Hunter. So that tells me he's going to have the opportunity to at least test this hypothesis and see if it can be done on the NFL level.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad bet either way. Travion Henderson at 20-1, the greed And the degenerate gambler is speaking to me at that price.
Yeah, but let me talk you off that cliff then.
Why?
Let me save you something.
Committee? Running back by committee?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a thing, too, where make the draft pick, stick with it, and like it. But when Elliot Wolf comes out, it's like, well, we actually see him. He could be a 3-down back. He was never a 3-down back at Ohio State.
He was not.
So now the physicality gets risen, and the toughness of the game rises as well. The complexity of the defenses you're facing and the speed of the game all elevates. Travion Henderson's a special player.
Sure.
But at 20-1, he's going to be your 3rd-down receiving back.
Yeah.
For a team that just won 4 games. At best, we're giving them 8, maybe 9 wins and sneaking into the playoffs. And for an offense that the best player is a quarterback, for an offense that features a Kyle Williams as a receiver and a Stephon Diggs, you can go with that long shot, Kyle Williams, 70-1. I wouldn't put my money on Travion Henderson winning it. If he wins it, would I be surprised? Yeah, a little bit.
Because he just went off. He had a big year if he wins
And it's not just Travion Henderson, so it's not just a talk down on him. He's a very special talent.
Yeah.
But he was at his best at Ohio State when they cut down his touches per game.
That's right.
They kept him fresh. He's going to keep Ramondre Stevenson fresh, and that's when he'll be at his best.
If anything, Judkins was the workhorse a little more. Right.
If I'm going to go a running back, I would go Marion Hampton 12-1.
Okay.
You have Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, Zion Johnson, and Bradley Bozeman all up front. Jim Harbaugh wants to run the ball. This is a team that was just in the playoffs. Yes, they're led by Justin Herbert. They got better in the receiving room by drafting a Trey Harris as well. But Omarion Hampton is the guy that can put up those eye-popping numbers as a running back, can be that bell cow back, great contact balance, a fantastic vision, runs between the tackles, but loves running to the left side. Okay, that's where you got your best offensive lineman in Slater, and can do it all. Like, he's that special talent. Ginty, I don't hate, but what I like with the Chargers is they can make it into the playoffs. You look at the past winners, Jaden Daniels, obviously historic. C.J. Stroud led that team to the playoffs. Garrett Wilson, at receiver, was a stud. Jamar Chase was fantastic. Justin Herbert led the team to the playoffs. Kyler Murray, quarterback. Saquon Barkley, no playoffs, but was really good as a rookie.
Sure.
You got to be a special talent. And I think what also would help is there's always narratives. You have to think storylines. If Omarion Hampton is running like one of the best running backs in the game, he's with a head coach that wants to run the ball.
Yes.
He does have the talent on a rookie scale contract to accomplish that.
They are by committee, George.
And if it'll be his.
Okay.
It'll be his. He'll be that first, second, third down back when you need Najee Harris to get tough yards, and he'll give him a spell. Omarion Hampton, you don't take him at that draft slot over the guys you took him for him to be splitting carries. You're going to give him over 200 carries a game. But if he overshadows and outperforms Ashton Ginty, that goes into the narrative that Omarion Hampton.
Too. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. The Chargers are much closer to winning than the Raiders ever will be.
The one that makes sense is Cam Ward, though. The Titans haven't made the playoffs since 2021. They built that offensive line with a bunch of vets up front. You do that to protect a rookie quarterback. And just simply look at the receiving room. Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Chimere Dike, Chigo Okonkwo, Gunnar Helm. 2 of those guys I named were rookies. The other 3 are veterans. They also have Van Jefferson in that room. Maybe Ellick Yomenor ends up being something. But they're surrounding him with the tools that you need for a rookie quarterback. They have a good run game. Brian Callahan's calling the plays. There's a structure there to support a Cam Ward. That's why I would go Cam Ward or Omarion Hampton. Your Travis Hunter play, though, and again, one more on the narratives. If he gets 10 receiving touchdowns, maybe 12, elevates the Jaguars' red zone offense. They were like middle of the pack, back half of the league last season. But if he elevates him and just produces solely in the red zone, or is a game breaker and has those highlight plays and plays off of Brian Thomas Jr. so well, he could win that because also the narrative is, while playing cornerback, he put up these numbers as a receiver. He was a wide receiver too, and a cornerback one.
That's right.
And that's what could give him into winning either award.
Well, yeah, and also the league can't give him MVP if he plays both of those positions at a high level, because we all know quarterbacks win MVPs in this league. So the next best thing would be, well, we're not going to give him the MVP, but we can give him Rookie of the Year in both offensive and defensive. I want to go back to something you said about the Titans before we move on to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I think you're right about Cam Ward and if he can turn around the Titans, but you mentioned playoffs. I don't necessarily think they have to make the playoffs for him to win the award. Bless you. Because
he's a quarterback.
Well, they won 3 games last year. This is what I was saying about rock bottom. If Cam Ward can come in, George, and win 6, they go 6-11. I'm just throwing out numbers, or 7-10, and he has highlight plays, and all of a sudden the Titans are relevant and being talked about, and like, dude, look at what Cam Ward's doing. he can win this. I don't think it has to be playoff or bust for him to win it. I just think he has to double their win total. When you win 3 games, bro, like if he can win 6 to 7 games, I mean, he could have a chance. As long as the numbers are there, he could have a chance to win this. It should be noted, too. We talked Travion Henderson at 10 or 20 to 1. Kyle Williams, the wide receiver, 70 to 1. How about this? On the board. Not going to win it. Don't bet it. Will Campbell, 250 to 1.
Don't give Vegas free money.
Don't do it. Just if you want to waste your money, flush it down the toilet instead, or give it to me and George.
An offensive lineman's never won Rookie of the Year.
That's right.
The one on Cam Ward, outside of their division, they're hosting the Chargers, Chiefs, Patriots, Rams, Saints. Maybe.
Win.
And Seahawks. That's a loss. On the road, Cardinals. That's a tough team.
Loss.
Broncos. Loss. Browns. Win. Maybe.
Yeah, win.
49ers. Loss. Raiders. That's a really tough slate. But that's a really tough slate of opponents.
I named 4 wins.
Okay. And then you think Cam Ward.
And then, a couple games here or there.
They still have Texans, Colts, Jaguars.
Who knows? Division.
The unpredictability of that division's insane.
But I named 4 from what you gave. I mean, what did I say? 6?
Yeah.
If he can get to 6 or 7?
Ted McMillan plus 950, maybe. O'Marion Hampton, I really like. Quinshon Judkins, maybe, but he's on a bad team. Tyler Shuck, I don't love it. Matthew Golden. Jackson Dart, 22 to 1. He's not going to play till
No. Hell no.
week 14,
I ain't buying it.
at that. Want to be a part of the chat? Whether you have a question about your favorite team, need life advice, or have something to get off your chest, we are here for you. Comment on our YouTube channel. Wherever you watch, wherever you get clips of Boston Center of the Chat, and you'll join the conversation, or email us, thechat@nesson.com. We want to hear from you and check out new episodes of Boston Center of the Chat on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever else podcasts are found. All right, let's talk some defensive Rookie of the Year odds. Abdul Carter plus 250. Jalen Walker with the Falcons, 7-1. Travis Hunter, 10-1. Michael Williams with the 49ers, 11-1. Since 2018, only one non-edge rusher has won it, and that was Sauce Gardner as a cornerback.
So that would explain.
And that was when the Jets had Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner both win Rookie of the Year.
So that would explain why Abdul Carter's such a heavy favorite, huh?
It's also, think of his structure and his situation. It's going to be Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. Or Kayvon Thibodeau opposite of Abdul Carter, or Darius Alexander there with Dexter Lawrence. The depth of that front seven, and he's special talent as a pass rusher.
Yeah, he is.
That's also, that number makes sense at plus 250. Jalen Walker, I mean, the Falcons drafted him and James Pierce, so it won't be solely on him. He'd be a Swiss Army knife, but what do the Falcons do? It just gets interesting where you look at this. We talk about that line to draw. It's Abdul Carter plus 250. Jalen Walker 7-1. Then you draw that line because everyone else is long shots. 10-1, 11-1, and a longer shot.
Sure. I'm a long shot kind of guy. I already told you I like Travis Hunter at 10-1. Here's a longer shot. Mike Green with the Ravens, 15-1. This is a guy George broke down for us on Foxborough Rush, which he told you to check out on Nesson. But Mike Green is top of the line, high end. Not better than, but up there with, talent-wise, up there with Abdul Carter, up there with Jalen Walker. His issue was character.
Yeah.
He's got some character issues. There are red flags there, legitimate ones. And it caused his draft stock to fall. In fact, it caused him to go to Marshall, too, if we're being honest, right? So I think a Mike Green who falls in this draft because he has character flaws and falls to who else? The team that always takes these guys, surrounds them with veterans and leaders, and then next thing you know, they're upstanding citizens and all pros perennially, the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, is that not what they do, George? Am I wrong? So I look at a Mike Green who goes to a perfect situation in Baltimore, and I look at this price at 15-1, and I think, well, damn, this is not a bad bet to make.
Yeah.
For a guy who's literally just going to be dropped in an already all-star lineup.
Yeah.
And just told, pin your ears back, kid, and go get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble off the field, but pin your ears back and go get to the quarterback. Well, hell, I don't know what he can do off the field, staying out of trouble, but I know damn well on the field, pinning those ears back and getting the quarterback is what he does. So 15-1 is not a bad price. I like Mike Green for my long shot. Donovan Ezeraku, Boston College, 25-1 with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Another guy you broke down. Another guy we like.
He's on a defensive
Opposite
line
side of Micah Parsons.
and Osa Odigizua in the middle.
25-1.
I think, and the reason Ezaraku is 25-1, maybe it's that second round pick billing on him. He's so technical and he's so refined in a good way. He's very fundamentally sound. But what you get with those guys that come in and their technique is perfect already, you don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
That's what they rely on, and that's how they win in college, and that's okay. But as a pass rusher, you need something that you are elite at. Mm-hmm. Speed to power, arm length, bull rush, whatever. You have to have that elite winning move. And Ezaraku doesn't have that yet. It could take a while. It might take 8 games for him to wake up. Mm-hmm. But now if he finishes strong, and he is a guy that all of a sudden has eye-popping stats from week 9 on with his sack numbers and his average. And again, narrative. Feeding into that defense, being a reason that the Cowboys defense all of a sudden has all their stuff together once again, he can win the award. I do like that 25-1 bet with Ezaraku because of his situation and structure. You'd have to be patient sitting on it. But 25-1, not a bad number. Maybe you wait. Again, same thing with Travis Hunter, 10-1. I see him as a starting corner, and then he plays on money downs as a receiver. It only makes sense. If he's at lockdown corner, that takes the league's worst pass defense, the league's worst last season pass defense, and improves them. Great ball skills. I could easily see him leading the NFL in interception, seriously, because him at the top of the catch point is exceptional. Exceptional. His hips, he moves like a cornerback. He's such a sick athlete, can cover in the slot or on the outside. There will be learning curves, but he can do it. And again, the narrative of he was also doing this on offense, it feeds into him being a wide receiver or a cornerback. I could see that all getting done. If you're enjoying the show, you can catch new episodes of Foxborough Rush every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can get all the latest news and discussion surrounding your Patriots as we head throughout the offseason. Available on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Twitch, and YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, we have breaking news as well. Gregg Popovich stepping down as head coach of the Spurs, but I mean, when you think Spurs, you think Gregg Popovich. We know he's dealing with health issues, so he will no longer be coaching the team. He is transitioning to a front office team president role with the Spurs. Kudos to the Spurs. They get everything right. They know how to develop these players. They're doing right by Gregg Popovich. Obviously, we all want his health to be okay. It sounds like he is if he's going into a front office role there. Hopefully he's stable and good to go and can do that for a long time. But kudos to them for not only developing players but doing right here by Popovich. I imagine in that position, George, as team president, he's going to handpick, quite literally, and ordain a head coach for that young, upstart, hungry Spurs team.
Yeah, it could be maybe he sticks with Mitch Johnson, maybe goes someone with more experience. And I'm happy to hear this for Pop because he did have a small stroke in November. Yeah. He had another medical scare at a restaurant right before the playoffs started too. And it is, I mean, that's a guy that's been with the Spurs since 94. Right? Like, and he's put his life into basketball, the stress, the day-to-day of being an NBA head coach too. And at his age, I'm happy he's stepping down. It's also cool to see him still sticking around Wemby, still being with the Spurs, and now as team president. That's a right move. Pop's a basketball lifer. Can't imagine him doing anything else. Right move by him for his health.
Yeah.
Right move for Wemby. Right move for the Spurs. Like, this is right decision all around.
By the way, there's a blueprint for this to be successful, George. We've seen it with other basketball icons. Pat Riley comes to mind, but there's others too who have gone from coach to front office. Brad Stevens, although younger, right?
Yeah.
But this can be, there's a blueprint. There's a way this has been done and has been successful. And Gregg Popovich, I have no doubt, will be successful in this just like he was coaching.
5 NBA titles. Man. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. We know how special that dynasty was in the early 2000s.
Coach. Yeah. All-time coach.
And that's just a guy, like, it's with all the big markets, all the big cities.
That's right.
There's always been that standard that's in San Antonio. They have Wemby right now. They could build on it. So
that's right.
I'm happy Coach Popovich is healthy. I'm happy he's making the best decision for him. Crazy to see him stepping down, but in a way, stepping into the right role, team president.
Well said.
See how it works. What Brad Stevens is doing with the Celtics.
Yep.
Guys go from coaching when they know their stuff, they know their personnel. Right. Pop knows basketball. For the latest on the Boston Fleet as they make their push to the playoffs, check out Nesson's Respect Her Game podcast, available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcasts. He's Travis Thomas. I'm George Balekji. This is Boston has entered the chat. Appreciate you guys making us a part of your day. We'll see you guys same time, same place on Monday.